All right, greetings, YouTube. We have the following question from College Algebra. It asks us to solve this equation. So this is solving radical equations where we have more than one radical. So let's start by getting a copy of the original. So we have this square root 3x plus 1 equals 3 plus the square root of x minus 4. Okay, so whenever we're solving radical equations, the first goal is to isolate one of the radicals. That's already happened here. So then the next thing that we want to do is, in this case, we're going to square both sides. All right, square this and square this. Okay. Okay. If we do this on the left, we get 3x plus 1. On the right, if we square it, we have to FOIL. So again, this symbol cancels that one. If we FOIL on the right, we're going to get 9. Let me see. First outer. So 6, right? Plus 6 times the square root of x minus 4. And then the last is going to be plus basically the square root of x minus 4 quantity squared. All right? So again, keep in mind this symbol is going to cancel that one. Okay? So then if we combine like terms, simplify and isolate the radical again, we get the following. So on the left, I still have this 3x plus 1. On the right, we have this 9 plus 6 times the square root of x minus 4 plus x minus 4, right? Combine like terms. So now I'm going to isolate the radical again. I'm going to move the 9, the x, and the 4 to the left and basically isolate the radical. So ultimately, I'll get something like the following. We have the 6 times the square root of x minus 4. On the other side, we're going to have 3x plus 1. If I subtract 9, I'm going to have minus 9 minus x plus 4. Let's keep going. Let's combine like terms. 6 times the square root of x minus 4. Let's see. 3x minus x. That gives us 2x. Let's see. 1 plus 4 is 5. Let's see. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 minus 9 is what? Negative 4. So that's going to be negative 4. Okay. So now we've isolated the radical. We've combined like terms and simplified as best we can. So then at this point, we want to square both sides again. So we're going to say this squared, all right? If we do this, that's going to be 36 times x minus 4. On the right, we have to FOIL again, so we're going to get 4x squared. Let me see. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 is going to be, I think it's going to be negative 16. X and then plus 16. So you have to FOIL it out. Okay? So then we wanted, I'm basically going to set it equal to 0 again. So distribute, combine like terms. So for instance here, I'm going to distribute. I'm going to go ahead and set it equal to 0. Ultimately, we'll get something like the following. We have this 4x squared minus 16x plus 16. If we subtract 36x from both sides, and whatever 36 times 4 times 3 is 120 plus 24 is 144. So we're going to add that 144 to both sides. Okay, we combine like terms. That's it. Hopefully I haven't made any mistakes with my calculations. Let's see, 136 negative 36 plus negative 16, 36, 46, 54. That's going to be a negative 54x. 144 plus 1654, 60. Yeah, plus 160. So then in this form, we want to factor. It looks like we might have a GCF of 4. No, it's at least everything's at least divisible by 2, but it looks like we can factor out a 4 from everything. Okay, I'll continue about here. So let's start by seeing, let me see, it looks like we can factor out a 4 from everything. We're going to be left with x squared. Let me see, there's going to be a 1. The remainder is, what, 14? So that's not even. So instead of 4, I'm going to go back and do 2. I know we can at least factor out a 2. A GCF is 2. So we're going to be left with 2x squared minus 27x plus 80. Okay. So then we want to factor this guy. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to give us 160 and add to give us negative 27. So I'm going to do this off to the side. So again, the 160 comes from this guy with that one. All right, two numbers that multiply, 80 times 2 is 160. So two numbers that multiply to give us 160. And we're going to stop at the line that adds up to 27. Now 160 is 16 times 10. 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And 10 is 2 times 5. 16, 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16 times 10. Okay? So then we're going to go line by line and stop at the line that adds up to 27. So we have 1 and 160, but that adds up to 161. We can do, what, 2 and 80, but that adds up to 82. So that's no good. Can we do 3? Notice there's no 3 in this list, so we can't do 3. We can do 4. If we use 4, for instance, if we use this 4, what's left is 8 times 5, which is 40. So we can say 4 times 40. But that adds up to 44, so that's no good. We can do 5, because we have a 5 over on the far right. So it looks like it's 5 times, what is that? Is that 32? Let me see. 2 times 2 is 4. 8, 16, 32, right? So 5 times 32, but these add up to 37, so that's no good. Can we do 6? We have the 3 and the 2. We can't do 6. We can't do 7. We can do 8. So if we do 8, so notice that these 3 have been used, so those are gone. If we use 8, what's left over is 20. So 8 times 20. Okay. Oh, so close. But 20 plus 8 is 28. That was very, very close. I don't know that we can. Let's try one more. We can't do 9. We can do 10. And I think 10 puts us on the other side. If we do 10, I think it's 16, but they add up to 26. And so now that they added to something that's less than 27, we might not be able to factor this one with integer results, right? So this line added up to 28. That line added up to 26. We were looking for the line that added up to 27. So only other thing we can consider here to go further, I'm going to do quadratic formula. Okay. So let's do the quadratic formula here. Okay. So again, the quadratic formula goes x equals, the negative boy couldn't decide to go to the radical house because he was square, so he missed out on 4 awesome chicks, and it was all over by 2 a.m. That's how one of my students remembers it, and that for some reason, to me, that's like a mini movie like Hangover, so I'm able to easily remember it. Everybody has a different method for remembering that. I just thought that was fantastic. So at this stage, let's identify our A, B, and C. So our A at this stage is 2. Our B at this stage is negative 27. And our C is 80. And I'm probably going to use my calculator because I know these numbers are large. So we get x equals positive 27 plus or minus the square root of negative 27 squared minus 4 times 2 times 80. Okay. Again, I'm just going to use my calculator so that's a 4. Let me look at the results and see what are options. I feel like I made a mistake somewhere. 3x plus 1, x minus 4, 3 plus that. Okay. Because we shouldn't. I feel like I made a mistake. Because it shouldn't be like that. Let me see. I mean, maybe. We got 5 and 8, and I think I tried those already. Yeah, let me go back because it's multiple choice. Let me make sure I haven't made a mistake. 3x plus 1, x minus 4. If you square both sides, that's gone. That's going to be a 9. That's going to be 6 times x minus 4, and that's just going to be the x minus 4, right? Okay. That's going to be a 5 minus 1 is 4. There's that 4. And then if we, where'd it go? Subtract the x and add the 4. Subtract the 9. So it should be a negative 4. There it is right there. This looks okay. I can't see any errors. We square both sides. That's a 36. That's gone. 3x minus 1 is 2x. That's a negative 8. That's a negative 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. That's going to become 4x squared. 4 times 4 is 16x, and then plus 16. At that stage, let me see. I still feel like let me do this in the calculator really quick and see what happens. So if we go here, let's go like this. We don't need that. Here we go. This one. Reload and refresh. Okay. So let's try 20. Let me see. Parentheses 27 minus the square root of negative 27 squared minus 4 times 2 times 80. Okay, I need to insert another parentheses here. Insert another parentheses, that's better. This closes off the square root. This closes off the top. We're going to say divided by 4. Yeah, I'm getting a decimal. Something's not working out. Let me see. So then here, if I get that answer, let me take that answer. Let me take that answer and plug it back into the original. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my y equals. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to say the square root of 3x plus 1 minus 3 minus the square root of x minus 4. Okay. I'm going to quit variables, y variables, 1 and 1. And I want to basically plug in the answer that we got. We should get 0, and we don't. So that's not a solution. So then let me recall. So the minus didn't work. That means that the plus shouldn't work either. If we do the plus, we get this answer. And then if we plug that into our function, that was not a 0 either. Okay. So the best I can say here is that it's going to be no solution. Like even once we crunch this long thing, the quadratic, we get decimals. But if you plug those decimals back into the original, they don't work. So the only answer that I honestly could stand by is going to be the empty set. Okay. So this is the only one here that I could stand by. Yeah. That's kind of the long and short of how that might go. So yeah, that is the nature of how some of these go. Yeah, we could plug and chug and like do the others just as for process of elimination, but you know, even once we got an answer, because once we crunch this number in the quadratic formula, we get 2 answers. But then when we try those answers back in the original, they don't work. All right? So with this one, I will go with C. All right? All right. And so on that note, we're going to end this session here. Okay? And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.